Everton Park to the Etihad for all your news, views on the Blues. Welcome back to the Blue Side Podcast. Welcome back, Ryan.
Welcome back, Rhys.
I'm glad to be back. Are you?
Yeah, on our first ever
Champions League episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for some unknown reason because Everton aren't in the Champions
I
League.
was going to say, I can't wait to get to the Everton part.
Oh yeah, bit short and sweet, guys. Maybe next season.
But so as we just said, we're going to do a Champions League special tonight.
Yep.
Seeing as City play later today.
Yep, absolutely.
However, some big news came out yesterday.
Yes.
What was the news, Ryan?
Was the big news the new European Premier League Champions
It
Cup?
is. It's the new Premier League Champions Cup thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it just came out of nowhere. I remember hearing about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But it just seems to have come out of nowhere that apparently United and Liverpool, of course Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Of course Liverpool are like front runners in like saying, oh, we want to do this.
Yeah, well they tried to take over the Premier League and now they're like, well, we'll try and help FIFA castrate UEFA.
You know, it's like they got knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico last year after winning it, and all of a sudden they're just like, oh, it's not that good. It's not that good anymore.
Yeah.
So if they go to it, and so in the new rules, I think it is, you can't play in both competitions.
Yeah. So
it's either Champions League or this league.
Yeah.
Does that mean that their Champions Leagues are then invalid? Is that what happens?
I don't think so. Well, to be fair, we know both Everton and City have won European Cup Winners' Cup, and apparently they don't exist.
They don't count anymore.
You mentioned that to a Liverpool fan or.
Well, we know a Liverpool fan who says that they don't count.
Yes, of course.
So that's my question. Does that instantly invalidate the Champions League? Discuss. Not in terms of like if you've won the Champions League. So say for example,
does it now supersede the Champions League in terms of like?
Is the Europa League now like a third-rate competition? Champions League a second-rate competition?
If they completely eliminate, sorry. If they bring in this new Champions of Europe League or whatever, I don't think the Europa League will exist.
So this is the thing. There's not enough information out at the minute. All I know is that Liverpool and United are supposed to be like front runners, like sort of pioneering it, and then there's going to be Arsenal, City, and possibly Spurs, and possibly one more, up to 6 teams I think from England.
Yeah. So
whoever that will be, are going to go in it. But from what I can tell, it's not you qualify. It's you're invited.
Yeah. So there's 2 issues with it. There's number one is it's quite clearly a power grab from FIFA on UEFA because UEFA have the Champions League. It's lucrative competition. I think
probably the most lucrative competition.
Millions, if not billions, probably watch the final and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously FIFA want a bit of that at the moment. They've obviously got the World Cup and then they have the Club World Championship, and basically they want to expand the Club World Championship.
Yeah, well they don't have the Euros and they don't have
exactly.
Do they have the Copa America?
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Yeah. Let us know. But yeah, it's clearly just a power grab from FIFA to establish a new European competition. Yeah. And if that happens, does the Champions League go away?
Yeah, exactly. What does then the 6 teams from England? Let's just say let's just say, for example, the 5 that I just mentioned, and then we'll throw Everton in there.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
Very kind of you, by the way.
You might champions elect, remember?
Yeah.
No, but my point is, who then goes into the Champions League? Does it go on qualification?
But this is the thing,
because if Tottenham come 10th, which is Tottenham have the ability to win the Premier League or come 10th.
Yes.
So if they come 10th and then you've got Leicester, Wolves, Everton above them.
Yeah.
What happens then?
This is the point. If it does take over and you lose the Champions League, and you've got the 6 teams that automatically get invited for this new Champions of Europe Premier League.
By the way, £4.6 billion is on offer for this. Hundreds of millions of pounds per team that goes in.
But what are the other 14 teams in the Premier League competing for?
Exactly.
Because right away you think like the other 14 can't compete for the title pretty much, but they usually have. We can get into Europe. We can sneak into the Europa League. Maybe finish 4th and get in the Champions League.
That's one of the big attractions of winning one of the cups.
Yes.
It's not just to win the cup.
It's
the fact nowadays you get into Europa League straight away.
So, not only could it remove the Champions League, it's going to have a knock-on effect for the Premier League.
Yeah.
Which, again, we know that Manchester United and Liverpool do not care about.
Yeah.
As it was only the other week, they were trying to eliminate promotions and relegations and just make it a closed 18-league system.
Yeah, and
18-team system.
Wasn't it like abolishing the Carabao Cup at the same time?
Yeah, well,
like that?
Essentially they're both owned by American owners, and correct me if I'm wrong, but things like the NFL and Major League Baseball,
they're more lucrative to them.
But not just that, I'm pretty sure they don't work like our pyramid system where you're promoted or relegated. You become a franchise and you buy into one of the leagues, and there's no fear of leaving that league. You pay to be in the league.
And I don't really know how it works properly because I'm not really into those sports. But from what I can tell is if you come bottom, it's not the end of the world because you got first draft. You get draft, don't you? Like getting the college kids.
Yeah. But I'm not I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure if you finish bottom, you don't leave.
No,
that division you still get next season.
Yeah, I think it's like split into East and West, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, with
North,
the
South,
NFL, split into the regional division.
Yeah, so you can't really leave there, can you?
No,
you can't just go. You're no longer part of the East. You can sell off to
exactly.
The West,
yeah. That's why they. It's very common. Well, it's not that common, but in America, you can get a team moving.
Yeah.
From like one side of the country to the other, and an area loses a team. Then
that's a bit mad.
Can you imagine Manchester United moving to London, and they're now Manchester United London.
Well, who was it? Who were the
MK Dons and Wimbledon.
That's it. I couldn't remember. I was like, I was about to say who did Vinnie Jones play for. I completely forgot. Yeah, Wimbledon, isn't it 70 miles away, Milton Keynes, or something ridiculous like that, or 40 miles?
It's fair distance.
It's like the distance from Manchester to Liverpool, in essence, at least.
Yeah, my geography's not brilliant. Wimbledon's very close to London, if not.
And MK Dons isn't.
Milton Keynes is near Northampton.
Yeah.
This is what you want on the podcast, a bit of UK geography.
UK geography.
We know this is why you tune in.
Yeah. But anyway, pulling right back to the whole Champions League fiasco, my main issue with it is I feel like it takes some of the enjoyment out of winning that cup away. Because for example, City, we haven't really, we've not, it doesn't matter how we perform in the league anymore. If we don't win the league, it doesn't matter about winning that top four anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like sometimes, I remember so in Pellegrini's last season, for example, we weren't going to win the league, but we only just made top four on the last day, and it felt like an achievement because of how poor we played that season. Whereas if now, every season, you're guaranteed that that place. I know that you get more money for every place that you come in the Premier League, but if, say, City are getting £300 million for getting into this every year, do they care? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like it takes them a bit away, and also then if we've never won a Champions League,
I just can say if like you were saying, does it replace the Champions League?
I feel like it wouldn't replace. I think what you said earlier about the Europa League going, I could see that 100%, and then maybe the Champions League then becomes the Europa League and probably gets rebranded and renamed. So from what I know, the current format of the Champions League is only in effect till 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what if this hadn't have happened? I just imagine it would have just got redone again, exactly the same format. Maybe they've added in 2 or 3 extra teams, maybe 1 extra team per group. Which isn't a disaster. It doesn't wreck it. It just means maybe more people go into the Europa League or something like that.
Yeah.
But I get the standpoint from owners because owners see it as a business, and I know, for example, as much as I obviously love our owners, and they've also done a lot for the city centre in terms of creating jobs and all the building, all the sort of structural work they've put into place. East Manchester is very poverty stricken.
Mm-hmm.
It is run as a business, which I think is fair. I think that's how you don't end up like Portsmouth or Leeds did or any of those teams, but it just feels more clinical than it used to be. It doesn't feel I feel like the fans should get a say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand from their point of view, it's a few £100 million extra a year, and then how can you complain if you can go out and sign a player for £300 million? You could buy the first £300 million player and it wouldn't make a dent on you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think from what I've seen so far, the response hasn't been good.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen a lot of City Twitter site's not a fan of this. I don't know how Everton acted because I feel like maybe they haven't reacted as badly because they're not. At the minute, their name hasn't been in the pot.
Yeah. Like I said, my main issue with it is it has the knock-on effect for the Premier League, and does it eliminate that need to try and challenge for top 6, top 3?
Exactly. It sort of takes some of the magic away.
Like, could you technically win the Premier League and essentially be the best team in Europe, but if you're not on this special 6 invitation list, do you not perform in that competition? That wouldn't make no sense.
It doesn't now.
If you get some of these, like the Leicester situation, and then they wouldn't be invited to this best team.
It's funny you mention Leicester because I was about to I know, obviously, it wasn't exciting for us because I'm a City fan, you're an Everton fan. We don't necessarily like Manchester United.
No.
But last season, after Project Restart, and Leicester had that collapse and United had that surge, that was an exciting end to the season.
Yes.
It was like, are United going to qualify? Leicester going to qualify? Imagine that's just disappeared.
Exactly, because every season you have this battle for 6th, battle for 5th, sometimes like a battle for 7th.
Yeah. And it's always like, I hope that lower team doesn't win that cup because otherwise I can't get into Europa League.
Yeah, definitely. As an Everton fan, most years, if we haven't got that far in a cup competition, you'll be like, I hope the bigger team win it, because then 7th place opens up and we can sneak in the back.
Exactly,
Yeah, I know. But like I said,
at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it.
No,
even as fans, I feel like even if we put a petition out, I feel like definitely like Liverpool, United owners, probably City owners to an extent, would just be like, we're just going to put it through anyway.
It's sad to say, but I think the fans are getting less and less of a say in football, and less of how their own club is run, unless they're in the lower divisions or in the grassroots football, but in the very top tier in the Premier League. I think fans don't get a say anymore.
I think another thing is that it keeps the rich clubs rich.
Yeah.
And I think I know it'd be very controversial for me to talk about, but financial fair play was brought in to keep the rich teams rich.
Yeah.
And I've said this to you before. A team like Leicester cannot go out and invest £200 million a season, even though their owners can afford it.
Yeah,
they've got. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th richest owner in the league. Obviously, before he passed away, but I think the family still takes care of it.
Yeah.
But they're like, for example, I don't think he's far off like Abramovich level of.
Yeah.
I could be 100% wrong. Somebody could be like, actually, but he's worth billions.
Yeah.
So Leicester, they wanted to, like pre-financial fair play, like when City took over and went out and just like splashed the cash every season. Leicester could do that, and I know Leicester are competing. But them getting 5th last year was sort of it was an overachievement for them. The year before they were mid-table. The year before that they were mid-table. I know they won the league, obviously, but that was a fairy tale. So does this then again just keep the rich teams rich? Because now 6 teams in the league have an extra few £100 million a year, and they can go out and buy the best players in the league. Say someone like James Maddison for Leicester. United could go in and offer £100 million. What could Leicester do? They can't turn that away.
Yeah, no, I think it can only have a negative effect on the Premier League, and I think that's it. They don't care. That them 6 clubs are probably not going to care about the rest of the league, but
no, they don't. Of course they don't. But yeah,
I was just going to say, let us know your views on it in the comments, and
the 6 people that are watching, put a comment on and tell us what you think about.
And when we throw stuff up on the Twitter, have a little. We'll engage back.
Yeah, 100%. We've engaged so far.
Yeah. So should we?
Anyway,
move on.
Let's talk about the European competition that actually exists so far, and which City are going for their umpteenth attempt to get, because as we know, City have to win it every year.
I feel like the Champions League for you lot has become like the Premier League for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Both in a sense.
Prior to last year.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Both in the sense of almost needing it for validation, but also in a sense of this year's our year. Every year for the last
That's more like
4 or
Arsenal.
5 seasons.
That's more like Arsenal. Remember when Arsenal every year we just like, this year's our year. We've got Ozil now, and they just came 4th again.
You fancy it this season?
No.
I was going to say you didn't fancy us for the Premier League, and then although in a Champions League it's knockout competition in later rounds.
it's true. I think I've said this for the last 2 years in a row. The last 2 years in a row were our best chances of winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
So not last year, the year before when we lost to Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
We could have had Barcelona. We could have had Ajax, who were amazing at the time.
Oh yeah.
I'd have not liked to play Ajax. We could have had Liverpool because we could have drawn them there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think they just like shit mixed us, like they did the year before in the Champions League. So when we got Tottenham, I was like wary, but at the same time I was like, oh, we can, over 2 legs we can take Tottenham. And I was 100% sure over 2 legs. I thought even if we lose the first one-off match, I can see us losing. And then didn't help that Aguero missed the penalty in the first leg, and then they won 1-0. Anyway, we got knocked out, which I'll come to later on. And then last year it was knockout game, just one game, one-off game.
Yeah.
And I know that's more dangerous in a sense, but it also made it so that if we played Bayern on a one-off game, we could sort Bayern. Because Bayern is strong. I don't know if we'd have beaten them over 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can imagine like us getting a win at the Etihad, and maybe they score a goal.
Yeah.
But I could see us like going to Bayern losing like 3-1 or 3-0. It's like something ridiculous like that. And this year, as I said on the last podcast, I don't think we've strengthened enough.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, which will be in the next podcast about Ruben Diaz.
I was gonna say,
Ruben Diaz has looked good, but as I said in the previous podcast, Mangala looked good for the first 2 games, and we all know how that ended.
Yes.
The Evertonian legend.
Oh yeah, I think I think we looked it up a while ago, and I believe he made 1 appearance. I might be wrong. Correct me.
And got heavily injured.
Thanks for giving us that player.
You're welcome. Yeah. You paid some of his wages. Definitely not all of it, but no, I don't think I can't see us winning the Champions League. I'm optimistic, and you never know what's going to happen. This season's been crazy already.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The start of the season, like even at the weekend, just going with Tottenham and West Ham. So this season is it's sort of a anything can happen season, which means that we can win. My issue is that I think it's in their head now when they get to like a late. So like when you see us in the group stage, we'll just batter the team. And like for the last couple of seasons, we've topped the group no problem. Last 16, we just beat the team, and then we get to quarters and it becomes real because then people are like, oh, you're only like 4 games away from the final. Yeah. And two matches, not 2 matches, you know what I mean? Two ties away, and that's where we come. So I thought before I do that, I'd go through sort of our experience so far in the Champions League. So
you'll be educating me as well as maybe possibly some listeners.
Just because like every year, as you said, like City seem to be tipped, not just in England but in most countries, as the favourites to win the Champions League every year. And I'm about to tell you why I think that's bullshit. When you look at our pedigree, it is not great at all.
Let's hear it then.
So in 2011, 2012, the season before we won the FA Cup and we came 3rd in the league.
Okay.
This also was the year that we won the league, but the Champions League was before we won.
Right.
It's the same season.
Yes, I'm onto it.
We came 3rd in the group stage on 10 points. Now, 10 points is usually enough to get you through, but that year it was like Napoli, and I forgot who the other team was. We had a good team in there. It might have been Bayern.
Might catch you out here. So we finished there, did you drop into Europa?
Yeah, we dropped into Europa.
How did you do?
We got knocked out, I think, in the quarters by Sporting. Because I remember this. I think it was Sporting. I think it was the quarters. We were level on aggregate in goals, but they had away goals. And Joe Hart goes to the other end at the last minute of the match. Ball goes in. He heads it, and it's like just a whisper. I was like, oh! As soon as he had it, thought it was in. We got to the group stage. We got put into the Europa League basically.
Yeah.
Year after, we've won the league. We've bought some players. We've improved. We know how to win.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't win a single game in the group stage.
Wow.
We had Dortmund.
Okay, that's a tough draw, especially what year is this?
2013.
Good team.
Yeah, good team.
Yeah.
Was that the year they got to the final? Might have been.
I feel like it must have been. You would have had Klopp in charge as well back then.
Yeah, that's true. Real Madrid.
Yeah, always a tough It sounded like a group of death.
Oh no, it was a tough group, and the other one was Ajax. This was pre. Like,
3, yeah. But still,
we got 3 points, and one of those was 3 draws. I think like the majority of them were at home. So I think we drew Real Madrid. The first match was away at the Bernabeu, and we were 2-1 up. Dzeko scored. I was like, yeah, and we let 2 like late doors. So at this point, it's just like we're not even getting out of the group. How are we ever going to compete in the Champions League season after? Second in the group.
Okay.
Bayern come top.
Okay.
This is 13-14 season, and if I'm correct, this is the year where we were 2-1 down at home to Bayern, and by this point they'd had placing it off, and Aguero scored a hat-trick and made it 3-2. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then we lost 4-1 in aggregate in the last 16 to Barcelona.
Nice.
Yeah. 14-15. We lost again in the last 16 to Barcelona. 3-1 in aggregate.
Oh, okay.
So it's getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
Year after, semi-final. Pellegrini's last year, 15-16.
Okay.
We lost 1-0 in aggregate, and we drew 0-0 at home, and that was a good result because you don't want to let a goal in.
Yeah.
All we need to do is score 1 goal. They need to score 2. If you score 2, you score 3.
Yeah.
We lost 1-0 to a Gareth Bale deflection.
Nice.
And we were toothless for the rest of the match. Yaya Toure was non-existent. Aguero didn't really get any of the ball. From all accounts, it was a pathetic performance. 16-17, we win 5-3 at home in the last 16 first leg against Monaco. Come on. We lose 3-1 at Monaco. Go out on away goals. 6-all on away goals.
Oh man.
That 5-3 was an amazing game. I don't know if you've ever seen the highlights. We were 2-1 down, and then we give away a penalty. Otamendi.
Yeah.
Caballero turns up as a hero, saves it. By the way, this is the game that like Mbappe arrived. By the way, because he messed us up. Then Aguero. Was it? Oh yeah, Aguero scores this goal where he like hits it along the floor, and the goal, I think it's Subasic, like spills it and it goes into the net. Shouldn't have scored, but it was out.
Yeah.
Then Falcao runs forward, right, skins Stones and lobs Caballero from the edge of the box. It's an unbelievable goal, right? And at this point, I'm just like, fuck it, it doesn't matter. I don't care about the Champions League. I did, but I don't care about the Champions League. And then Aguero scores a volley from a corner, beautiful goal. No. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, and then Stone scores 4-3, and it like made up for the getting skinned. This was John Stone's first season, so it was okay. And then Leroy Sané scores a goal to make it 5-3, and subsequently got that tattooed on his back. Leroy Sané has a tattoo on his back of him like this when he scores. He doesn't have the City badge; it's just like a generic Nike shirt. Bit weird, that isn't it?
Very weird.
Bit weird.
For the audio listeners, I'm pulling a very confused face.
It's a bit weird. Anyway, season after 17-18. This is the year that we were Centurions. Got wrecked by Liverpool 5-1 in aggregate. We lost the first leg 3-1. Then the second leg we scored early on and pulled on the pressure, and then they scored 2 because we had like no defenders on by this point. Anyway, and then obviously 18-19 lost to Spurs with that like Llorente handball.
Yep.
Last year we lost 3-1 to Lyon in the quarter final.
Yeah, this was the game where he changed the team, wasn't it? And
it's
made no sense, the setup.
Yeah, he played like 3 at the back with 2 wing backs or 5 defenders.
When people saying he had one eye on the next round and he was sort of testing out.
Yeah, so from what I can gather, and like it came out that some sources like in the club were saying that they practiced this, but it was under the players were under the impression this was the tactic to play against Bayern.
Yeah.
Because Bayern have 2 pacey wingers. They've got Alphonso Davies at left back, who's just a whippet. So it was to counteract that break constantly. And from what I can tell, basically the mood was, we don't need to play like that against Lyon. We can turn up against Lyon and play like that. And my dad made a good point after the game, and it was like proven. Do you think Bayern would change their game plan to play Lyon? Or do you think they'll just go, you have to beat us at our best? Yeah. And they did, and they battered them.
Yeah.
So that was, it's like I said, I think now it's becoming like a stickler for Pep, because for some reason he is the most under pressure manager in world football to win this Champions League for some unknown reason.
That was the question I was going to ask. If this season you finish third in the Premier League, so it's unlikely, but just say third, no FA Cup, no League Cup, and you crash out of the Champions League in the quarters, should Pep go?
No.
No?
No. I don't know. It's a bit hypocritical because Pellegrini got to the semis and he won a cup and he crashed and he got sacked.
Yeah.
But he didn't really get sacked. It was the end of his contract, and that was because of Pep. I don't think he should go unless he sort of feels like he's done. If he's like thinking, I want to stay, I want to win that Champions League, keep him.
Mm-hmm.
But if his heart and his head's not there anymore, then get rid of him. But a lot of people seem to be very quick when we lose a game to like, oh, Pep doesn't know what he's doing anymore. He is literally our most successful ever manager, and he set every sort of record that you can think of in the Premier League.
Yeah.
The most points tallies, the most goals scored, the most consecutive wins, the most wins in a season, the most away wins in a season, the most amount of domestic cups won in one season. Nobody's ever won all 3 domestic cups and the Charity Shield in one season. And people are very quick to put that down and go, oh, it's only a domestic one, it's not a real treble. If it's an easy treble,
why is there more teams than it?
Why is not everyone else doing it? Because thankfully, his always mindset is we go for everything and we don't prioritize anything over the other one.
Yeah.
The only thing that ever got prioritised, the only other time I've seen it was last season when it became very apparent we weren't going to win the league. When we were 20 points behind, and this is February, March, and we're 20 points back. In fairness, you go, okay, we're not going to finish outside the top 4. That's fine. You just prioritise the Premier League, and we prioritised the FA Cup, and we lost in the final against Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Semis. No, it was the semi-final. Yeah, I don't know why I said final.
I've got another quick hypothetical for you, just a quick one. So, again, you finish 2nd in the Premier League, you win no domestic cups. You finish 3rd in your Champions League group and fall into Europa, where you win the Europa League. Are you happy?
I am, for one reason, because I know it's not winning the Champions League, but
European Cup.
It's a European Cup, but I think then it sort of in the head it sort of dissolves some of that boogeyman-ness.
Like we said on the last episode about gaining a winner mentality, this kickstart a winning Europe mentality.
Exactly, because in their head they go, we are now. You wouldn't say second best in Europe, but sort of. You know what I mean?
You've won a European competition.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. Second best team in Europe is what technically
the runner-up.
Yeah, the runner-up
of the Champions League. But at the end of the day, you've got a European Cup, and for some reason, other teams seem to be like, oh, we've won a Europa League, but I guarantee you City won a Europa League. It's only the Europa League
instantly.
Do you know what I mean? Remember when Chelsea won it? It was like, oh, we won a European Cup. They won 2 in 4 years. They were buzzing. I guarantee you, if Liverpool were where they were 10 years ago and they won a European Cup, a Europa League, it'd be the best thing ever. They'd be like, we've won 6 Euro. Well, I don't know how many cups they've won actually, including winners' cups and stuff. But you know what I mean.
We don't know and we don't care.
Because if you're a Liverpool fan and you hear, what are you, Brian?
You're lost. So shall we get on to
the game tonight? The game tonight after that big backstory. So we're playing. So our group is what you would consider an easier group.
Okay.
And now I guarantee we will finish 4th in the group.
Yeah.
No. I think we'll top the group.
Okay.
We've got Porto.
Okay.
Olympiacos.
Yeah.
Marseille. And arguably all 3 of them.
You should top the group there, really.
Other than Olympiacos, the other 2 aren't necessarily the best teams in their respective countries. I think Benfica won it last year. I don't know. Correct me. But Benfica seem to be up there for the last few seasons. Because Porto won it for 8 seasons in a row, something stupid. And Marseille are not the best team in France. They're probably you probably put them under Lyon. So you probably go PSG, Lyon, Marseille, and then Lille or Rennes or whoever they always seem to be a wild card that comes in every year. So tonight we play Porto.
Oh, okay.
We play Porto at home.
That should be interesting because that should really set up the group. Basically, if you go out there, make a statement, win. Yeah,
I feel like Porto is probably the toughest team.
I was going to say, I'd look when you name them, Porto. Would be the one I'd say.
Yeah.
But you should definitely get through the group.
100%. You would expect us to win all 3 of our home games and at least one away game, and you're already on 12 there.
If Pep doesn't get out of the group, should he go? And I'm not saying third into Europa. I'm saying
let's cross. You're saying
I'm
fourth.
saying
How do we go? How do we go in domestic?
Second, you can win the League Cup because you win that for fun. So
Yeah, keep it. I like a League Cup.
no domestic cups at all.
No, I've
Rhys, there's nothing Pep can do wrong here.
no, but
It's the headline for the podcast.
I never wanted Mancini to go, and I knew we were getting Pep, but if we weren't getting Pep, I wouldn't have wanted Pellegrini to go. Because if they win something and they sort of, if fans have an affinity with them,
Yeah.
I find it very difficult to
Oh yeah.
want them to go. Like I've stated many times that I think Mendy isn't the left back we bought anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's got such a good rapport with the fans,
Yeah.
I love him. I wouldn't want to and like Zinchenko, I love Zinchenko as a guy. I think he's really funny and I think he's a really nice guy. I think he's weak defensively, but I wouldn't want him to just get shoved out the door.
Yeah, no, I think it's refreshing to hear these views on a team because these days people are so
Very fickle.
to
Very
jump on the
fickle.
manager when things don't go. I know well enough as an Everton fan, most of our managers get 18 months if we're not. Well, I want to say we're not top 6, but it seems to happen with the managers. They're getting us near the relegation zone within 18 months.
I think a lot of teams nowadays are just it's instant success. It needs instant.
That's it. But the thing is, with us, we've given each manager like a shed load of money, bring in a new team, and they haven't. Bar Carlo Ancelotti at the moment. We'll get that's for another podcast. Don't let this become
the
an
big Don,
podcast.
big Don Carlo. Also, if Pep stays, there's a chance that Messi comes in January in the pre-contract and signs in June. Messi and Pep. Perfect. Anyway,
go on.
Back to Porto.
Sidetracking you with all my hypotheticals.
This isn't the first time we've played Porto in Europe.
Oh, go on, let's have it.
When we dropped into the Europa League,
What score did they beat you?
no, we beat them 6-1 in aggregate.
Oh, okay.
Last time we played them, and now arguably we're both better teams,
Yes.
but if that translates at all, we should be okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So we will last beat them 6-1. And now currently Porto are second in their league, Marseille is 6th in their league, and Olympiacos are second in their league at the time of recording. So, they're not, like I said, they're not the best teams in their respective leagues necessarily. They've not. It's not like one of them has had a crazy start to the season, and you're like, oh, you don't want to play them. Like if you played Everton in the Europa League, if say, I don't know, what would be a big Donny that would be in the Europa League, like Sevilla, they win it every year. If they played Everton, they'd be like, oh, Everton have got a good start.
Yeah.
Like probably last season when you played Sevilla,
Oh yeah.
So, sort of tying up the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
I do think we will top our group.
Yeah.
And then I can't.
Get this audio clip for
yeah. Let's clip this.
Yeah.
I think we'll top the group. I think we'll beat Porto tonight, and I think I can see us dropping a few points here and there.
Yeah.
I could see us winning the first 3 games and then relaxing a bit.
I was gonna say there's
because
always
there's on 4 points.
if you're almost guaranteed through, you put a B team through near the end.
And I don't think we're just gonna run through them. I think we'll run through a couple. I think we'll run through although Olympiacos beat Arsenal at their ground last season, I've seen before. They're in the Champions League. They're not duck eggs. Do you know what I mean? They're not idiots. They're not bad teams. I just genuinely think we're a better team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a prediction. I think we'll get to the semis this year.
Okay, we'll clip that as well.
Yes, semi-final. I think we'll top our group, get a second place team that's going to be relatively easy, and then we'll play somebody good in the quarters and we'll shine through and be like, oh my god, City have got it, and then we'll just get beat by some of the semis that we shouldn't get beat by.
Okay.
Sterling will miss from 2 yards this season instead of 3.
What's your score prediction for Porto? Score out there.
3-0 to City.
3-0 City. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna just
wrap that up.
That's gonna wrap the podcast for today. This is our very first Champions League episode, so this has come out on Wednesday night, the night that City play.
Or has it?
Oh, has it? We know that our last podcast came out after the weekend when it was uploaded before the weekend.
So we'd just like to apologise to the fans. Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
Sorry to me on my other account. But if anybody out there has ever dealt with Sky Internet, you know why it was going through so slowly. And it's Sky. If you happen to watch this,
have a couple of £1 million, please.
yeah, have a couple of £1 million. Probably not after what I'm about to say, you dicks. Sort your internet out in the centre of Manchester. How is that so difficult?
It's been a lovely way to end the podcast.
It's been a lovely way to end the. Before we go though, I'd like to get your opinion. How do you think City will do this season in the Champions League as a neutral?
Okay. Knowing your group, I think you'll set off for that group. No problems. And it's all on the draw, really, isn't it? It's still a situation. You top your group, you get a second place team from another group.
Yeah.
So realistically, you should beat them.
Yeah.
And then, just like you say, it reminds me of the mentality I think we have when it comes to playing Liverpool. I know it's not the same, but it just always feels like it gets in the players' heads that we haven't beat Liverpool for X amount of years. And it just seems like we bottle it all the time. So I know what that's like to watch a team, and I
just watch them crumble.
It's
under
just
pressure.
Yeah, you know this team can do better, but it just seems like a mental block. So with that in mind, yeah, I'll go with you and say a semi-final.
Yeah,
I think you'll sail through the group, beat your last 16 team.
Yeah. I feel like it's both optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. I feel like it's. If I say realistic, I know that people go, "Oh, you're saying so," that doesn't sound. But every year we're tipped to win it, so it's both optimistic and realistic at the same time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd be happy for you as well to win the Champions League.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Much rather used than the other.
Than the other. Well,
the
other two teams. yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Anyway, that's our Champions League prediction. Maybe next year we'll do one on Everton.
Hey, yeah, the way we're playing, we might, even if we get in the Europa.
Even get Europa, we can do it on the same week or the week before. It'd be great. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Mum, Dad.
Yeah.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, get involved on the socials. We want to hear everyone's view.
Definitely get in with your opinions, views.
Even if you're an Everton fan, just watch this. You know, that's
absolutely.
fine. Yeah.
And until next time, always look on the blue side of life.
Is that a new catchphrase?
I don't know. If people like it, let us know and we'll keep it. If
what
not,
do you think about It's better than me doing a twirl like I did last week. Anyway, see you next week, guys.